To both support the amendment that I'm privileged to co-sponsor with Senator from Kentucky, Senator McConnell, which would give our troops, General Petraeus and the field, the funding they need to carry on the fight they're carrying on so successfully. And as a result, I rise to oppose the amendment introduced by my friend from Michigan and others. Mr. President, 9 months ago, when General Petraeus took command in Baghdad, people of good conscience could disagree about whether his new counterinsurgency strategy would succeed, unless you decided that everything was lost in Iraq, or it didn't matter if we lost in Iraq. And I think most of us don't feel that way. We know it would matter because we are engaged in a battle with al-Qaeda, the same al-Qaeda that attacked us on 9/11, and Iran, the most significant state sponsor of terrorism, according to our own State Department, supporting militias and extremists in Iraq. So it matters. But 9 months ago, people who cared about whether we won or lost in Iraq could argue about whether the surge strategy would work. After so many mistakes, frankly, in the conduct of the war in Iraq, many Americans, many members of this chamber were understandably skeptical about the possibility of this new counterinsurgency strategy succeeding. Now, however, the evidence is unequivocal. I will say it is remarkable. In some cases, it is downright miraculous. The surge is working. And as a result, it is time to support General Petraeus, his plan, and his troops, not to second guess, not to editorialize about it, not to add conditions or goals to it. Let's do something that we in Congress don't do very well, which is to remain silent in the face of something that's working. Let us, with all respect, the 11th Amendment is a classic case of snatching defeat from the jaws of victory, because we are on the road to victory in Iraq. The extra American troops have played a critical part, the broad-scale counterinsurgency strategy. And what's happened? Violence is down. I think this number has been cited, but just this week, Major General Joseph Field, who's the commander of our operations in Baghdad, said that attacks in the capital city have fallen nearly 80% since November of 2006. Murders in Baghdad province are down by 90% over the same period. And vehicle-borne bombs, which have killed so many of our troops and the Iraqi people, have dropped by 70%. There is a people's uprising occurring in Iraq today. It started with the awakening in Anbar. It's now going on to Baghdad and other provinces throughout the country. I know the sponsors of this amendment have said that they want to send it as a message to the Iraqi national political leadership to get with it, to reconcile. Of course, we're all frustrated by their lack of progress in doing that. And a lot of us thought that the political changes in Iraq would come from the top down. But what's happened is something not to disparage, not to ignore. What's happened is classically democratic, in the best traditions of America. The political changes in Iraq are coming from the bottom up, from the grassroots up. Local councils are governing in area after area. The local people have taken charge of their destiny, and they've kicked out al-Qaeda. They've kicked out al-Qaeda because they decided that al-Qaeda was their enemy. And we, much to their surprise, turned out to be their friend, their supporter. They understood that we don't want conquest in Iraq. We want to liberate them from the forces of extremism. The same is happening throughout the country. So I urge my colleagues, let's success alone, let it work, and oppose the Levin-Reed amendment and support the McConnell-Lieberman amendment. I thank the chair and yield the floor.
Mr. President, time.